What came to our notice as a committee for agriculture at the Senate is that agriculture as the backbone of this country has always contributed for over 30% of the GDP of this country. But when you look at the budget allocation, it has been dwindling over the years. And what we recommended 2-3 weeks ago when budget estimates were being brought to Senate by various ministries was to ask the government to add more resources to the Ministry of Agriculture because of what returns we get at the end of the day. Because you look at what we get out of wheat, out of sugar, out of coffee, out of cotton, it is quite substantive amounts of income for this country. And therefore, when we look at county governments, they allocate less than 5%, which again is not fair if we have to be food sustainable in this country and also food as a cash crop. So in that regard, we are pushing to encourage both national and county government to add more resources in their budgets so that we can have extension services, we can have input, we can have disease control, we can have input in terms of technology, accessibility by farmers and stakeholders to turn around the fortunes of this country. So we believe we still have light at the end of the tunnel. We have, of recent times, decided to have a critical look at the functions of the ministries of agriculture at county levels, putting into consideration that various counties are predominantly doing different specializations. For example, the Western Circuit, many counties, farmers are doing sugarcane, maize, all that. When you go to Nyanza, Kano Plains, Budalang, we have rice, Muranga, like that. So we want to look at what the specific county governments are doing to support farmers in their areas of jurisdiction. How much attention are they giving their farmers? Is there public participation? If there are projects being rolled out, is there value for money? Can we see change of lives at the grassroots level? If there are donor funds that are supposed to come to counties, are those people accountable? Can they show us the projects on the ground, or it's only on paper that we look at these things? So we want to turn around the ministries of agriculture so that Kenyans can see value for money, good health, good life, happy family, and a prosperous Kenya. There's nothing like interference. We are not stopping them from implementing anything. We are simply following what they have said. In every activity, there is always budget making process. They do public participation. It's taken to the floor of the House. The members of the county assemblies debate. The ministers come on the floor to justify, or through sectorial meetings to justify what the budget is all about. Then there is the implementation aspect, where the executive implements and the county assemblies ought to oversight. The reports always come to Senate. We have to look at them. The public has a right to petition, to seek clarification by statement, for us to give answers. And that is how democracy is. You cannot have your own cake, bake it and eat it. No. There must be value for money. We must be accountable. And even the scripture says, for whom much is given, much is expected. And that is the rule of the game as Senate. We will do exactly that. We have counties that are showing some signs of positive move in terms of turning around the lives of farmers. You know, elevating a person by giving them inputs and all that is an aspect of, one, dealing with food security. Once these people have food secure, the food production turns out to be an economic venture. The excess they can sell to sustain the family. Okay, so for counties we have seen some slight improvement, but what we want to emphasize is that the billions that are coming not only for training purposes, trips and all, no. We want direct injection to the people to see that this community, they didn't have seed, they gave them seed, the extension services, crop insurance, then the person is self-sustaining now. In the subsequent years, they should not be given the same number of people being given inputs here. That is not sustainable. But we must see a change. That's why you see in government now, we equally recommended to government that a crop like coffee when you plant coffee, you must be committed to nurture the coffee tree so that you now continue harvesting year after. So when you come back to check on the project or the process, you will see some value on the farm because it's self-sustaining. Now, if you continue giving packets of maize and fertilizer, and they simply eat, there is nothing to show that they saved something for the future. It's a problem. So we have to combine alleviation of poverty, food security, and also income for sustainability. That's why even livestock farmers, we want to see how the insurance works, how new breeds are brought on board, how the county governments are restocking in terms of food, okay? The food stores for animals during dry season, are they prepared? That is how we want to handle this matter. And even the market for livestock, those who do livestock. Now for the dairy, we want to see value addition, the prices of milk. The government is pumping money to cooperative. The mother ministry is agriculture. So there is a way we want to ensure that it is sustainable and you can see change in the lives of Kenyans, but not the lives of officers of state. No. Coffee is our topic as a Committee for Agriculture. We are pushing for reforms. We are, as a Committee for Agriculture, we went through the submission from the National Assembly on the coffee bill. We did amendments. We'll be tabling it on the floor of the House. If we don't agree, members don't agree with what came from National Assembly, we'll proceed for mediation so that we conclude on that document with the aspects of devolution that must be protected, the rights of farmers that must be protected, and equally the rights of the key players in the industry. So we don't want any aspect or any part of the game in the coffee industry to feel marginalized or neglected because they must work together. And therefore, the government has been churning out monies in terms of cherry fund, and Bungoma has done very well. We are doing about over 500 million shillings per month. But what we want to see is the price of coffee per farmer at the grassroots level. You can imagine a farmer in a place in Bungoma getting 21 shillings and another one in Muranga or Kirinyaga getting 147 shillings. What is the difference? Who is playing games here? Does it mean the coffee from that farmer in Bungoma was too bad to get 21 shillings? So we want to, be keen on the factories and the societies to ensure that the farmer at the grassroots level gets value for money. And that is another venture. After we finish the bill, now we shall now engage in mobilizing farmers to know their rights, the processes of marketing, the processes of production of coffee, and how they can track their coffee from the farm to the factory to the market. The bill will give rise to a new venture in terms of regulations. And it will just be an express right for the minister to do what he wants. There must be stakeholder engagement, consultation, and the first beneficiary of focus is the farmer at the grassroots level. And that is what, as a committee, we have kept on reminding the minister and government. But if the farmer is desperate and does not get the value for his coin, then we have no business pumping resources and time in the industry. I'm assuring the farmer of Bungoma, for the livestock farmer, for the sugarcane farmer, the bill is there. Farmers are preparing to elect the new leaders in the sugar board. We have the coming leasing of factories of sugar. They have participated. We want to change it not only to be a political bed, but an economic venture for farmers. We are doing a livestock bill. We'll be visiting various counties from 27 to see things are moving. Just to assure Kenyans that the Committee for Agriculture at the Senate is on top of the game. For the wheat farmer in Kajiado and other parts of the country, we will not allow government to import wheat, and yet we have farmers who have wheat and need to sell it at a better price. We will not allow contracts or agreements that bind Kenya as a government and punish the farmer who is on the ground working. All agreements must favor the Kenyan farmer before it favors anybody else. So we are ready for the task. We are prepared to engage stakeholders, turn around the fortunes of farmers in the Republic of Kenya. For fishers, the fishery department is also an aspect we are watching very closely. They keep on training fishermen, they keep on pumping resources, but what is the turnaround? If you have trained 1,000 fishermen, how much do you expect them to harvest, translate it into income, and translate it into livelihoods? That is the discussion we want to engage. So it shall not be a one-way venture. It must be a two-way traffic. You invest, there must be returns for government and the people as a whole. Thank you, Kenyans. Keep hope alive.